Hi, I am Dr. K. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to the subject software testing. Today we are going to discuss about static testing. In this static testing, we are going to cover the topics review, goal of review, types of reviews, general classification of reviews, and advantages of reviews. Now, see, what do you mean by the static testing? So, in earlier session we have discussed about static testing and dynamic testing outline. So software testing is nothing but the combination of both static testing and dynamic testing. Either it may be a black box testing or it may be a white box testing. So white box testing will be performed by the software developers, black box testing will be performed by the software test engineers. So either it may be a white box testing or it may be a black box testing. Testing itself is a combination of static testing and dynamic testing. That means both static testing and dynamic testing will be performed by both the software development team as well as the software testing team. Both the teams are responsible. Both teams are supposed to perform, supposed to do static testing as well as dynamic testing. So what do you mean by the static testing? During this static testing, the code is examined without being executed. That is, the process of examining the document or code without being executed is called static testing. During the static testing, the code will be examined. What it means? That means the code will be examined line by line by line. The code will be verified line by line. That is called examination. For what purpose they will examine the code? To see are there any mistakes in the code. To see are there any gaps in the code. For this purpose, the software development team will do code examination. During this examination of the code, they will not execute the code. Simply they will review. If it is a document, the document will be also examined. This is called static testing. There are three techniques in static testing. One is review, inspections, walkthroughs. These three are the techniques of static testing. That means reviews, inspections and walkthroughs will be performed by both the development team as well as testing team. That means reviews, inspections and walkthroughs will be done by the software development team in white box testing. And the reviews, inspections and walkthroughs will be performed by the software testing team during black box testing. In this session, today we are going to cover only the reviews. I am going to explain only the reviews. Inspections and walkthroughs I will take the latter. Next is dynamic testing. Quite exactly opposite to static testing. Dynamic testing. During the dynamic testing, the code is executed by giving the inputs to the functionalities. This is called dynamic testing. Dynamism, dynamic, that means change. So, for example, one functionality is there. For that functionality, they will do the dynamic testing. How they will do dynamic testing? By supplying the inputs to that functionality and performing some operation on those inputs and getting output. After getting output, examining the output. That means checking the output, whether that output is correct or not. This is called dynamic testing. During this dynamic testing, the code is not executed. The code is executed. During the dynamic testing, code is executed, but the code will not be examined necessarily, without necessarily being examined. That is called dynamic testing. That means dynamic testing is nothing but during the dynamic testing, code is executed and tested without necessarily being examined. That is, it's not mandatory. Examining that code is not mandatory. Here the execution is important. So the dynamic testing example, black box testing as well as white box testing. Now see, what do you mean by the review? A group of persons look for errors or mistaken assumptions, lack of clarity and a deviation from standard practice. This is called review. That means a group of persons, maybe 6 persons or 8 persons or 10 persons, depends upon the size of the team. All these group of the persons will look for the errors in the code, will look for the mistakes in the documents, will look for the lack of clarity in the code. They will look for the lack of clarity in the documents. They will look for the deviation. Is there any deviation in the code or in the document? Is there any deviation from the standards in the code as well as in the document? This is called review. Right? So here the review means mainly that a review will be carried out for verification of completeness, correctness and consistency. Either it may be a document or it may be a code. So review is an activity carried out to verify the documents at the different stages for its completeness, correctness and consistency. So example of the reviews are reviewing of the specifications or project plans, etc. So review of the specifications means review of the requirements. The requirements will be reviewed, project plans will be reviewed, test plans will be reviewed, test cases will be reviewed, test scenarios will be reviewed, test design techniques will be reviewed, test summary reports will be reviewed, requirement traceability matrix will be reviewed. These are all the different documents in the software testing. So each and every document will be reviewed. For what purpose? To check, are there any deviations from the standards? Are there any mistakes in the documents? Are there any lack of clarity in the documents? And predominantly they will check for completeness, correctness and the consistency of the documents as well as code. This is called review. Right? The next is, just excuse me. Yeah. Now, what can be reviewed? What can be reviewed? That means, see here, during the every stage of the software development life cycle, that means at each and every stage of the software development life cycle, so many documents will be designed. So many documents will be designed, or that means so many documents will be written. So what can be reviewed? During the every stage of the software development life cycle, anything that is written can be reviewed. That means even a small piece of paper also reviewed. For example, at each and every stage of the SDLC, that means requirements gathering is one stage. At this stage, what will be designed? So the business requirements specification document, BRC document will be designed and SRS documents will be designed. In design phase, what will be designed? Both the high level designs and the low level designs will be designed, will be written. During the code, what they will do? They will do the code. They will write the coding, right? Like this, at each and every stage, either it may be a document or it may be a code. Each and everything can be reviewed. So this is a review. What can be reviewed? Next, what do you mean by the review? So for example, here now I am taking business requirements specification document as an example. BRS document. Who is the author of the BRS document? Business analyst. Now, once this completion of the BRS document, once the BRS document is completed, designing of the BRS document is completed by the business analyst, the document will be shared to all the team members for the review purpose. Now what they will do, the team members, each and every team member has to read each and every line of the document. That means each and every requirement. After reading repeatedly, after reading the requirement, they have to analyze the requirement. After analyzing the requirement, they have to understand the requirement. After understanding the requirement, they have to find the defects, if any. After finding the defects, what they are supposed to do, they have to report the defects. To whom they have to report the defects? To the author of the document. Here in this example, who is the author of the document? Business analyst. This is the review. Reading each and every line of the document. If it is a code, reading each and every line of the code. Analyzing each and every line of the document or code. Understanding each and every line of the document or code. Finding the defects, if any, either in the document or the code. After finding the defects, then you have to report the defects to the author of the document. This is called review. Very, 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 very important topic for the interview purpose as well as for your real-time practice in the project. Now, what is the goal of review? First, basically, what is a review? Review is a static testing technique. One of the static testing techniques. That means review is one of the testing techniques. Testing for what purpose we are doing testing? To find the defects. What is the goal of the review? To find the defects. That's all. So the goal of review. Goal of review is nothing but to identify the defects within the stage. That means in SDLC stages or phase of the project where they originate rather than in the later stages. This is referred as phase containment. This is the goal of review. So what is the main goal of review? The goal of review is to identify the defects in each and every document within that stage. That means within the same stage of the software development lifecycle. This is called as phase containment. Right? Types of reviews. So there are 3 types of reviews. We will discuss one by one. In-process review. The name itself explains you the definition. In process. That means while the process is going on or in the middle of the process, like this. So to verify the work product, here the work product is nothing but either it may be a document or it may be a code. Say, that means to verify the work product during a specific time or period of the life cycle to identify the defects as work progress. I will take the example again, the requirements gathering stage. During the requirements gathering stage, for example, for your better understanding, to complete the requirements gathering stage, let us say it will take 6 months. During this 6 months, the work will be in the progress from day 1 to until completion of the requirements gathering. So in between these 6 months, as the work is in progress, they will verify that the document, BRS document, excuse me, they will verify that work product, they will verify that BRS document during this specific time, during this 6 months. This is called in-process review. Example, in between any process like software requirements or detailed designs, etc., the work products, that means either it may be a document or it may be a code, will be reviewed. This is called in-process review. Next, phase end review. That means once that particular stage or phase of SDLC is completed, then go for review. Now see, for example, requirements gathering stage is completed. That means requirements gathering phase is the end. Once that requirements gathering phase is completed, then they will do review on the BRS document. For what purpose? To determine whether to continue with the next software development lifecycle process or not. That is called phase end review. At each and every phase, at the end of each and every phase in software development life cycle, the work product will be reviewed. For what purpose? Mainly to check whether the document is completed and whether the document is consistent and whether the document is having no defects to verify. After verification, they will determine whether they will go forward for the next stage of SDLC or not. This is called phase end review. So at the end of the software requirements or at the end of the detailed designs or at the end of the test readiness, etc., etc. This is called phase end review. The next is very important for your interview purpose as well as for your screening test. Post-implementation review. The name itself explains the definition. Post-implementation, that is after implementation. That means once the project is totally completed, once the project is deployed into the client place, once the project is released by the client, then our team will do this post-implementation. They will do the audit of the process based on the actual results. For what purpose they will do this post-implementation? To identify are there any opportunities for improvement for the future releases. This is called post-implementation. This is also called as post-mortems. Generally, the post-mortems will be done after the implementation, right? So, during this post-mortem, what they will identify? They will identify the reasons, they will identify the causes for having the difficulties in the project. This will help the team to identify the opportunities for improvement for the future releases of the software project. So, these post-implementations are also called as post-mortems, right? It's very important. Next, general classification of reviews. It's a general classification. Previously, there is a process-based reviews, general classification of reviews. Again, there are three types of reviews. One is informal review, semi-formal review, and formal review. What do you mean by the informal review? What do you mean by the informal? Informal is nothing but unofficial and unplanned. There will be no official thing and there will be no planned thing. Informal review. Generally, this informal is nothing but one-to-one meeting. One-to-one meeting. That means, for example, say, now I have written some piece of code of 100 lines. What I will do? I will ask my colleague, hey boss, please review my code and give me your feedback. This is called informal. It is a one-to-one meeting. For example, say I have designed one test case. I have designed one document of 100 lines or 200 lines or 100 pages. What I will do? I will give my document to my colleague of the project. Colleague is nothing but a peer. We are not supposed to call it as a colleague. We have to call them as a peer. Now I will ask my peer to review my document. Right? So I will sit with my peer, I will sit with my colleague, and I will ask him to review my document and give his feedback. This is called informal. There is no plan. It is not an official thing. So informal review is nothing but generally a one-to-one meeting between the author of the work product and the peer, initiated as a request of input regarding a particular artifact or a problem. This is called informal review. Next is semi-formal review. Neither it may be an informal nor it may be a formal, semi-formal. Generally, this semi-formal reviews will be facilitated by the author of the document or author of the code. Generally, these semi-formals, during this semi-formal review, comments will be made by the people, and these comments will be brought to the notice of the author. This is called the semi-formal review. This type of review is facilitated by the author of the material being reviewed. Comments are made at the end or comments are made throughout the review. This is called a semi-formal review. Next is formal review. It's a formal review is nothing but an official review, and it's a planned review. There will be a separate schedule for this formal review. There will be a separate time slots for this formal reviews. It is a totally official, planned one, planned. This formal reviews will be conducted by the moderator. Who is this moderator? Moderator is a highly experienced person. It's a highly knowledgeable person. But he is not the member of the team of this current project. He doesn't belong. He doesn't belong to the project. He is the person within the company. He is the person from some other project. He is an experienced person, knowledgeable person, but he is not a member of the team. And also, he should not be author of the document. Right? He is the moderator. So, moderator is responsible to facilitate the formal review. And about this formal review and the team structure and all, we will discuss going forward. Right? So, the full participation of all the members of the review team is required during this formal review. And the issues are captured and the issues are raised and published in a formal report. There will be one document, there will be one template. All the review members, review team members, if they find any defects, they have to raise those defects in this formal document. Right? This formal document, obviously, it will be distributed to all the participants and management. Right? This is formal review. So, general classification is informal reviews, semi-formal reviews, formal reviews. Regarding this formal review, team structure and process, I will take a separate session. I will prepare a separate session, which is very important, very, very important. Right? Yeah. What are the advantages of review? Simple. So, reviews are more efficient. Reviews are more effective. During the reviews, 70% of the defects will be found. That means 70% efficient than testing. Review is nothing but to find the defects. Testing is also nothing but to find the defects. During the review process, 70% of the defects of the project will be identified. You can compare, you can assume. Right? And as the defects are identified by the review process in the earlier part of the life cycle, they are less expensive to correct. Obviously. For example, if I find a defects in the BRS document, simply what I will do, I will report those defects to the author of the document, that is the business analyst, and the business analyst will correct those mistakes in the BRS document. That's all. So, no other team members will involve, only the business analyst will rectify, will correct those defects in the BRS document. It's a less expensive. Right? That means the cost will be less and effort will be less. And mainly, predominantly, the reviews will make you the education. That means make you the educating a large number of people on a specific product or the project in a relatively short period of time. For example, say there is 1 month schedule, there is a 1 month time schedule for review process. Within this 1 month, you have to review all the BRS document. During the review of the BRS document, what you are doing? You are reading each and every line, and you are analyzing each and every requirement, and you are understanding each and every requirement. That means you are educating yourself with respect to that particular specific project or the product within this short period of time. So these are all the advantages of reviews. And obviously, this is a pictorial diagram. Defect identification efficiency. So during this review, 70% is the efficiency in identification of the defects, whereas in testing, only 30% is efficiency in defect identification. Right? So that's why we can come to conclusion that reviews are more efficient than testing. Right? You can analyze and you can assume the importance of reviews in the software projects. It's very, very, very important. Right? Yeah. So please subscribe my channel and share my videos to your friends, students groups who are trying for the job in the IT industry. And please like my sessions. Thank you. Thank you very much.